Well, hello there and welcome to the beautiful Mount Wanganui for the New Zealand Beach Tour Finals. It's the final day of competition of a beautiful season. We're in paradise here and it's time for the ladies' finals. Well, it's been a great competition for Polley and Tilley, but today they have a real big test on their hands. They're against the Matauatu team in Lottie Joe and Matauatu, who have lots of experience and very good ball control. It's Louis Lett with you here, and I'm joined by young New Zealand international player Emily Julian. Emily, hello.
Hi, how's it going, Louis?
It could be a lot worse.
Yes.
Beautiful day.
Definitely nice down here. Great to be down here at the Mounts for this weekend. Supposed to be in Thailand at the moment, but sadly due to the coronavirus, everything's been cancelled. All the flights from Volleyball New Zealand. But that means I get to be here and watch the Volleyball New Zealand Tour Finals.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. So, yeah, the juniors loss is definitely our gain. So you're a young player, up-and-coming player from New Zealand. You must know quite a lot about Shauna and Julia as well.
Yes, definitely from playing from a young age. I've always looked up to them. They're some of my idols in the beach volleyball scene, so it's great to always watch them and see them in the finals.
Part of many songs together, dominating here across the world. The dynamic Polley.
Fantastic.
Ladies and gentlemen,
What do you think is going to be the difference?
can you clap your hands and make some noise? Let's do it.
I think it's definitely those crucial moments, making sure that they're putting them away at the right times and just keep it focused during the whole game. You know, not letting anything slip away.
Well, it's Linline Matauatu. The first point for New Zealand. For Vanuatu, the experience they have, the World Tour experience, and they've won so many titles in the Pacific and also in the Oceania Tour. Polley trying to get the ball on the net into the wind. Great rush. Very, very good start for Tilley and Polley. Emily, the start they would be looking for, right? Very, very good start. Service pressure, using the wind.
Yes, that was a very clean swing by Julia Tilley, sorry.
Now the high snap to the line.
Unlucky.
Is really solid. Their shot selection and their vision is very strong. So defensively, it might just be tough at times for Julia Tilley and Polley as well.
Service errors is a big one in this game. They have to make sure they put away all their serves, keep them tough.
Yeah, tough serving was something that really did serve them well in their semi-final match against Francesca Cohen and Olivia McDonald. They have quite a rivalry, those two. At the moment, the top New Zealand pairs. Vanuatu attacking from the right-hand side. It's a high snap of the ball. Randy just breaking.
Oh, what a great touch by Julia Tilley, but just unfortunately goes outside the court.
They've set up quite smartly. They know that Linline Matauatu loves to come to the line, so they've started to break on an angle and put the defender in the slot, in the body line to the line. So you can see the intent from Mike Dudson and Tilley and Polley.
Those are the shots that they need in this game. Shauna Polley's really good at making that crucial decision and putting them away at the right time.
For sure, a decision based on vision and angles and what she can see and really how she can put the ball away. You're completely right, great swing.
Yeah.
They can be really, you gain confidence with a good start, right, early on in the game.
Yes, ooh, unlucky there, but yes, points are crucial at the start, I guess. Hoping to get that big lead and then work their way through the rest of the game.
In line to serve. The ball's coming in on 2, but the vision of the blocker is really good. The reaction's strong as well.
Clean swing by Julia Tilley. That was an awesome setup by Shauna Polley. An awesome finish.
Yeah, the set really opening up the angles in the offense for Julia Tilley, and then the wrist away on the sideline. We're off to a really entertaining start, and you think that they're going to be happy with... It's not been plain sailing, but it's very good.
Yes. Block's always a tricky one. I hate it when it just rolls off the touch and hits the ground.
Yeah, she decides to jump into the angle quite late, just losing a bit of structure in the air and getting caught off the outside hand. Service pressure now from Vanuatu. It's something that they've really gone for over this competition, service line. Lottie J from the right side. Very good swing. Super smooth, beating Polley on the deep one. And so far, looks like we're going to be here for a while. So Emily, for anyone who's watching for the first time, what makes a good beach volleyball player?
Well, obviously in beach volleyball, you're touching the ball every second time. So you need to have that crucial defense and attack. Be able to pick up the ball from anywhere in the court and then put a strong attack away. Whether that's a shot or a power hit, it's your decision to make, but yeah, it's definitely the decision making and the athleticism that makes a great beach volleyball athlete.
Yeah, it takes a lot of energy out of these players, and it's a short one. It's smart, really. I think it's good vision from Lin Line. She sees the break of the block and she decides to test them short. Lin Line's someone who's been around the world tour since I can remember in 2011, 2012, and Vanuatu very much now under the guidance of German experienced player Michael Bergman, who moved out to Vanuatu with his wife and his child actually to lead the program. Vanuatu, they do extremely well in this sport.
Yeah.
You know, for a smaller country, and they actually set an example for so many other nations.
Yeah, I haven't seen too much of Vanuatu play, but they're looking like a pretty strong team, strong serves, great decision making. They'll definitely give Shauna and Julia a good game.
Yeah, they certainly are so far. Change of end, 7-0. Lottie Jo from the right side opens up really well. The arm swing's open and smooth.
Swing.
Poetic stuff.
Definitely.
And you get different sorts of players. You get your shooters, you get your more aggressive players, and Lottie Jo has a little bit of both. She has this off the body swing and real smooth arm as well. Passing problems for Polley here.
Oh, what a clean snap by Shauna Polley. Julia Tilley worked really hard to get around that set and put it nicely out onto the outside of Shauna's shoulder, lining her up and cutting that angle.
Definitely made the best of a troubled situation, passing off the net. Vanuatu now in system.
Great pass. Oh, awesome second by Julia Tilley. I think what's something great about beach volleyball is every team brings something different to the table. Everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses, which is awesome to come up to an international team and play them to figure out what their strengths are, and you have to adapt to their play.
For sure. Luckily, Polley Tilley have Mike Dodson with him, the coach of this team, and he's very experienced, great coach and a lovely man as well. And he has them well organised from the off. But the two balls something that's emerging in beach volleyball, more variations of set. The two balls being used a lot more, almost like the middle attack indoors.
Yeah, definitely. We've been taught at training to always use a second as an opportunity.
Second ball definitely pulls the attention of the blocker, makes them have to think a little bit more and just keep watching a little bit of everything that's going on.
Even a fake, if you go up and fake a second and then set it, you still make the other team unaware of what you're doing.
100%. Something that's coming into the game is these dummy 2 balls and jump setting to the outside, trying to lose the blocker. That's a high line, well seen.
Oh, brilliant cut by Julia Tilley. She read that perfectly and finished that shot.
Set was super tight to the net, so
Yeah.
didn't have so many angles. But again, they've done very well at making the best of that situation. Tight setting usually should be the blocker's ball, but
I like to say it's always the second person to touch the ball that will win the point in a joust or something similar.
and
You wanna be
sometimes it's sometimes easier for the smaller player as well, right?
Yes.
Pushing up a little bit more. So we've hit the technical timeout here in Mount Maunganui. Paradise for beach volleyball. It's 11-10 to the winners of this tour championship as well. They've already won that title. And for Tilley and Polley, they lead Vanuatu just by 1 point. There's a lot of life left in this game though, that's for sure.
Brandy pair of sunnies worth over $100. Also got an awesome voucher here to go and check out the catamarans here, the Mount Cats. Gonna give those away together so you get out there on the water with a brand new pair of Dirty Dog sunnies. If you're in the grandstand having a good time. Little sound check of the crowd. Can you make some noise if you're having a good time over there, beach volleyball fans? Who's cheering for Matauatu? Who's cheering for New Zealand? Who's cheering for Brisbane?
At 11-10, an end switch.
So Emily, am I right in thinking that you're training here in Mount Maunganui?
No, not currently, but I'm based in Auckland at the moment, so I've been training up at Harbour at the Mairangi Bay Beach Courts.
Oh, nice. So you're part of a program here and part of the junior setup?
Yes, part of the under-19 New Zealand squad, so we were supposed to go to Thailand, like I said, but due to other factors we couldn't go. But it's great to come and support our local teams.
Is that your coach?
Just get up and get on down and crash that set. This is a high five partner. Way to get it done. To New Zealand, 5-2. Practice 12-11.
So Vanuatu have come out of the traps firing. They're in a good position, just one behind. Polley sitting on the angle. Now she's just sitting on the
Some
volley line. She's
great
made
digs.
2 great reads for Polley.
And
then
she put
puts
it away.
Where's New Zealand?
Very talented athlete, Shauna Polley. Someone that's always been my idol in the volleyball scene. And I've been lucky enough to be coached by her parents, both Mike and Robin Polley. They're inspirations to us all here in New Zealand.
That's incredible. And Polley herself has been on a great journey to Commonwealth Games and really setting a tone for youngsters like yourself to aspire to.
Yes,
Commonwealth
definitely.
Games is huge for New Zealand nowadays, as it is for England. It's a real platform for you, and it must be a dream for you to play in a competition of that nature.
Yeah, definitely. I'd love to go to the Commonwealth one day and compete.
Wonderful ball control. Synonymous with this Vanuatu team.
Still a 1 point game here for Tilley and Polley. They've been playing together for a long, long time, and they know each other very well. Vanuatu missed yet another serve, something we saw in the semi-final, and it's a really intriguing game against Canada. The Canadians here as part of their preparation for the World Tour in Gold Coast in 2 weeks' time. And Vanuatu won it in 3, hammering through the line. Lottie Joe once more. We've seen her go wrist away. We've seen her go flying through the angle. Now we just see her just try and turn one back to the line with a little bit of ease and guile.
I think Vanuatu go for a high service, more power, so they've got a high risk rate, but They managed to put them away, and Julia Tilley put that one away, so that's great to see.
What I love about that from Tilley is that she's maybe 2 meters off the net and she still finds a solution. She hasn't got as many angles, but she makes a great decision by hammering high and still just testing the opposition.
Yes, definitely.
Ball's in a good zone. Lynn Lyons being
Some
dug.
great digs there.
Really calm. And really good judgment as well. Now, it looks as if at the moment on the backcourt that Shauna Polley is really coming into her own, and she's tracking the body line of the spiker the whole way through the point, and she's just getting into the right spots, making some great digs.
You can see her just reading the other players and making the right decision, which is such a hard thing to do as a backcourt player. I myself play backcourt, and my partner Sarah Stratton as a front court. So yeah, I used to play front court, but from transferring to backcourt, I really love it a lot more because you just have so much more opportunity to touch the ball, and you can see the whole court, which is an awesome thing.
It's just also quite fun to play some transition, right?
Yes, yes.
Make a dig and then try and find a solution. Good serving from Vanuatu. And for the first time in a long time, we are all square here in the ladies' final of the NZBT, brought to you by J. Gardner Homes and Beach Towers as well. And this is a tour that's just getting better and better year by year.
Again, they go for that high-risk serve, really trying to get that deep corner, but just going out.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of service errors from Vanuatu. That's because they are pushing it from the baseline. And really, they've done so well to be here for the Continental Cup starting next week, Vanuatu. This could be a fixture we see in the Continental Cup for sure. Knuckle over the top from Lynn Lyons, a good one. Again, the ball's tight, so she has to lift that ball. Continental Cup is going to be some spectacle here in Mount Maunganui.
Yes, it's going to attract a big crowd, especially with all the foot traffic coming along here at Mount Maunganui. There's always, no matter what day it is, there's people here every day of the week.
So if you are in the surrounding area to Mount Maunganui, make sure you come down because it's an Olympic qualifying competition. The road to Tokyo is still very much on for New Zealand's men and women's team. The top team from this pool will go into round 3 of the Continental Cup, which is getting very close to Tokyo. And if you come second in the pool next week, you'll be going into round 2 to try and get into round 3. So teams 1 and 2 go through to the next rounds.
Again, just there we had Shauna Polley. Beautiful pass and finishes it with a nice cross-court angle.
Love that, showing the line and chopping it back to the angle.
Yeah.
Very, very good work from the centre.
Vanuatu loves their tips, and Shauna and Julia hustle hard to get that one up. Yes, and they won that point. Beautiful play there by both teams, but the Kiwis take the hustle and won the point.
Something we saw a lot of in the semi-final game was Vanuatu knuckling the ball short, chipping it around the block of MC LaPointe, and that worked really nicely in set 3 for sure, but they're still trying to work the retreating blocker here of Julia Tilley. They're looking to break quite late here on the shot, and it seems to be working well. They're breaking for the shot. They're deciding not to take too much of the hard hit.
Definitely.
More great defense. Having a great game, Polley.
Shauna's very consistent with her passing.
It's another knuckle, and this time it's the knuckle jumbo that just sails over the top. Vanuatu are chipping the ball around, but it's New Zealand that still hold the advantage here. They're 2 up, 19-17, race to 21. Change of service
Quite
target.
a close pass there, but managed to get that up and over.
Something I've been impressed with throughout this game is in the breeze, it's never perfect. Volleyball's never perfect anyway. I don't know anyone who's ever had the perfect game in all the volleyball that I've ever watched, but they're making the best of every situation.
Yeah, the wind's always a massive factor when it comes to beach volleyball. Unfortunately, it doesn't always go the way you want it, but you have to play and that's just one of the factors with beach volleyball. You have to learn to play in the wind.
Certainly so, and Tilley and Polley are really much known as being a great wind team, good ball control. 1 set point save from Vanuatu. Lottie Joe serving. Fast off the arms. Out of system swing from the centre, but there you have it.
Beautiful.
New Zealand's #1 team have gone 1 set to 0 up. Shauna Polley, Julia Tilley have carried on exactly as they left off in the semi-final to take the opening set of the final, 21-18 against Vanuatu. What a performance.
Yeah, that was awesome to watch. They really stuck it in there for the whole game and never took the pedal off, as I like to say. And obviously they got the outcome that they wanted. To win the first set, that puts them in a great position with the second set. Hopefully, you know, this is where they train, this is their home. They have that advantage on Vanuatu, but it's great to see that Vanuatu is putting up a strong fight.
Yeah, some good breaking into good zones, making it really difficult for Vanuatu, who really want to chip the ball around and make it difficult for New Zealand, but they're very well set up from Mike Dodson. The second set looks to get underway here. The NZBT Finals, brought to you by GJ Gardner Homes and Beached As. Volleyball in New Zealand, it's in a good place right now.
I just want to say right now here at the Mount, it's a great environment, great atmosphere for our women's final of the tour. We've got the crowd behind both teams.
Yeah, crowd have been brilliant all weekend here, and DJ Tilley is doing a great job with the sports presentation team to get everybody involved all of the time. And New Zealand look like they're going strong here. Serving from Julia Tilley to get us underway. A jump float serve to the inside, trying to take away the cut shot from Lottie Joe. She goes back on the angle. Game of chess, beach volleyball at times with angles and speeds, but turning it back late is Lottie's good swing.
Sometimes it's actually a good idea, if you see that block there, to just swipe it off the block. That is always an option, but it is a high risk one. Beautiful back set. And a kill by Julia Tilley. Straight down that angle.
Good work from Polley Tilley. Just opting to move the ball around here. The back set, making the block move, making the defender shift as well. It's difficult to find stability when you have to move more.
Polley with a very consistent float serve. Just dropping short of the Vanuatu player.
Yeah, good side-out play matched with good service pressure is certainly one way to play this game, a successful way for sure. Serving on the right side, knuckle over the top is good, and that's a real rushed play from Vanuatu. But when the play is rushed, it makes it difficult for the blocker.
Vanuatu definitely likes their little knuckle shots, don't they?
Well,
very strong serving.
One in the Mount earlier on in the Mount Super Slam. They've also won back here in the first event of the summer. They're looking for their third straight win on home sand. Ball's just drifting off the net. Jumbo from the inline.
Those balls are killer. So hard to run backwards and get them back forward. So that's a great shot by Vanuatu. Sometimes you just have to let those ones go and say well done.
Passes off the net, so less angles, but it doesn't really matter when you've got the line open. Aggressive swing.
Julia Tilley has a really consistent swing. Obviously that comes from a good set and a good pass, so they've got the whole combo really.
They certainly have. This breaking straight into the body line, so it's very difficult. All the power is going to the line from Tilley, and it's very difficult for Lottie Joe to get back, stay still, and defend that line because the ball's always going to come so quickly down that channel. Scoop is way off the net and way below par for Vanuatu. They started slowly against Canada in the semi-final, so we know that they've got a comeback in them, but so far the body language from Vanuatu, not quite where it needs to be, and it's Polley Tilley who look like they have this well under control. Back set. Oh, pick that one up in line at Matauatu.
Unlucky, just a touch of the net there, but that was some beautiful play by Vanuatu.
Just bounces it.
They really dragged the blocker over with that back set, which I liked.
Just serving short. Lottie Joe just out of rhythm, and that means that the spike is more of a controlled one as opposed to having so many options available, and that gives New Zealand a chance to build through the rally because of the serving really into a good spot, knocking Vanuatu out of rhythm.
Shauna Polley's really putting on a performance here today. It's great to see because her parents are actually here watching. This is the first one they've been able to watch live here at the tour final, so awesome to have that support from her dad and mum.
Shauna
Great
Polley
track there.
actually played in the USA as well. Now a breeding ground for building young volleyballing athletes for the NCAA. Service pressure now, Vanuatu 4 down. It looks as if Polley and Tilley are going to be crowned the NZBT Tour champions. Tour finals, the second day of 5 competition days here in New Zealand. The Continental Cup finals are creeping up here starting on Tuesday. And Vanuatu and New Zealand are 2 of the toughest teams in the pool. So we might be seeing this fixture again live on this stream. Lottie Joe. Ball's tight. It's completely her ball to go for.
And that brings us to an end switch at 9-5. New Zealand's up, but let's see if Vanuatu can take out the serve.
Inline serving, it's another service error from Vanuatu, and this is something that seriously hurt them this afternoon. They start to find some rhythm, and then they almost give it away again.
Yes. Yeah, our coach Fiona Scrimshaw always says you have to have that safety serve in your pocket to pull out when you're in that crucial position. You just have to make sure you get your serve.
And there's still so much you can do with a serve that puts pressure on some just by making them step, or doesn't always have to be a rocket from the baseline. It can be something that just nudges the opponent into a certain area.
Definitely.
It's a game of angles, beach volleyball. Game of speed. A game of time as well. If you haven't got time, you can't hit angles. Ace this time from Vanuatu, and we're starting to see a pattern develop. It's either an ace or an error. Lottie Joe serving for the small island of Vanuatu. Desperation
just
kicking
out.
in. Ball is just agonisingly wide.
Let's see if Julia Tilley can put away a nice boat serve here, putting the Vanuatu team under pressure and creating an opportunity for them.
These moments crucial for Vanuatu. They need a side out. They can't afford to be broken again. And the 2-ball knuckle to the sideline is really strong, making the defender have to make a move to the sideline. Very good from Vanuatu. And Vanuatu once more just show building blocks towards being successful. They've missed their fair share of serves, but now the confidence is growing. The service pressure is also very good. It's another good serve. Polley's passing off the net, so
Beautiful
she's slightly
pass.
out of rhythm.
And a snap just off the top of the block.
It's a good decision there from Polley because she's passing close. Because it's windy, Keeping the ball close in the wind is very, very good, but also passing off the net hurts your vision and it takes away angles. So trying to find the balance here is key, and it seems like Polley has found some balance into passing safe but aggressive and still having some options to swing on.
Yes, a very talented player, and yes, like you said, in the wind, it's best to play close with your partner. Otherwise, the ball's going to be flying all over the place and it's much harder to control.
That's absolutely right. It's still much calmer than yesterday here in Mount Maunganui. It was very breezy. But the Mount is renowned for the breezy conditions.
Yes, definitely in the afternoon. The morning's always lovely and still, but sadly, I think it's a bit too early for a final at about 8 o'clock in the morning.
So everybody books training times nice and early.
Yes.
Mount Maunganui, the perfect setting. This is a great final spot. From the inside, inline goes to the line. Makes the read there, Polley. Makes the read, just too quick, too accurate, but Polley had released into that zone really calmly. Service pressure to the inside. That's another error. Lottie Joe. Ace from Julia Tilley. This the NZ Beach Tour finals, and it looks like it's going the way of New Zealand's premier team. This competition brought to you by GJ Gardner Homes, the main sponsor of this event. From the inside, back through the angle. Polley's just caught going backwards slightly, not quite penetrating with the block. Vanuatu, it just, again, you can't shake them off.
No. They just hang in there and get those little niggly points that you hate, but it's just good play by them. Better
serving. Pulls into a good zone. They're just taking a bit of heat off the serve. Vanuatu, they're going for that more safety serve. Lottie Joe is coming in, facing the line, and unfortunately for her, timing slightly out, and the arm doesn't quite come through. So New Zealand look like they're going to take this in two.
Yes.
A hat-trick of wins at the Mount this season. Still a long way to go, but it looks really favourable for the Premier team, New Zealand Volleyball.
Great snap by Lottie Joe.
It's a great side out. Early break this time, so she knew exactly where the space was. Very aware of the equation that had to be solved.
Very consistent serving by Lottie Joe. Oh, but Shauna Polley puts that one away. Beautiful angle swing across court into that deep angle.
Super athletic. The ball's sort of dictating her jumping inside out, but she still manages to get her arm through the ball. It's a great aggressive rip. Went a little bit out of system. 5 will do it now. Change of ends. Polley Tilley have almost played the complete game.
Oh, unlucky touch there, but she really was fighting for that one. Great commitment to her teammate.
Once more, Polley Tilley just seemed to be making really good digs in good situations like that. Really holding still in good spots and making digs. Tracking the body line, being stable in every single way. And even though that dig wasn't controlled, it was still a great play from that situation.
Yeah, I agree with that. And that brings us to 13, serving 16.
Another service error, and it's been their Achilles heel for Vanuatu.
17-13, they're leading by 4. this set. First to 21, must win by 2.
Serving. Really deep on the line. She's a little bit out soon. Passes on an angle, but this
Just
is where
through
she's really
Julia's
smart.
hands.
Really smart swing. She passed so much on an angle. She didn't have much line, but the change of arm speed really did make it difficult for Julia to get her hands into a good position. And Vanuatu are just knocking at the door once more.
Shauna Polley really gets up there on her attack. Unfortunately, Vanuatu just dropped that short again with a little niggly knuckle. I guess it's just a tactic, and they seem to be making a lot of points off that skill, so it's something great to have in their pocket.
We saw Lin Line work away from the body. Now we've seen a knuckle short. It's great reactions from her. It's a chance for a third point in a row. Breaking on the angle is Tilley. Chance in transition. They need this, New Zealand. They really do. It's been a tough few points for them. It looked as if Vanuatu were finished moments ago, but on to Polley. What a reaction!
What a shot there.
Laura Ludwig style behavior, trying to run that game as quickly as possible.
The agility is amazing, just being able to dart around the court and position the ball wherever she wants.
Certainly one thing to make the dig, second thing to make an attack with the dig, to be able to see the situation and then really make that decision to almost counter-attack, you would call it. From the inside, that three-point game. That's huge point previously. The pass on one made it a three-point game, where in theory they lose that one, New Zealand, and it's back to one. Vanuatu have a sniff. There's a good chance they take it with some service pressure, but instead it's New Zealand now that lead by 4, and now they're in the driving seat.
Definitely. Very consistent play here by them. Oh, unlucky touch there by Julia Tilley, but the Vanuatu just love that little chip around the block, and they seem to be finding the sand a lot with that.
Just coming in super straight and letting the wrist wrap around the ball. Selling the line, chipping the angle. Vanuatu, three-point game.
Shauna Polley just having an absolute blinder of a game.
It's been phenomenal. They've both been phenomenal. And now they have championship point to become the champions of the NZBT Tour Finals here at the Mount. Serving to win the title over Vanuatu, but the first one has been saved.
Again, Vanuatu finds that sand with the little knuckle. Let's see if they can take the serve or open an opportunity for New Zealand to take this game.
Second match point to the inside of Tilley. Has a little look at the defensive options that Vanuatu are proposing to them, but it's another dig for Vanuatu. They have a chance. Polley is everywhere today, but she can't keep that one alive. Interesting now. At this point of the game, nerves are really starting to kick in.
Yes, it's definitely a pressure game right now. 2 points in it, and that's a timeout, I think, by New Zealand. So
it's a great use of the timeout from New Zealand. They're using it before Vanuatu get too close. So
definitely,
the timeout quite often when you're serving can upset your rhythm.
Yeah, it definitely changes the momentum. So right now, obviously, Vanuatu's got that momentum. So New Zealand wants to try and change that around and go into this next point with the momentum on their side.
Yeah, that timeout certainly giving Vanuatu something to think about. And you can call timeouts at two different times. You can call a timeout because you're feeling the pressure and you need to sit down, or you can call a timeout and tell them to sit down. And this is very much a timeout that's telling them, hey, Vanuatu, sit down.
Sit down, yeah.
And we'll take back control.
Definitely.
Who's champion New Zealand? Who's on Matauatu? Around 18-20, we have got 2 gold medal points.
Deep breaths from Lottie Joe. It's the third match point for New Zealand. They have to take one at some point, but it's not a service error. We've seen so many service errors.
And a hit. I must say, Julia Tilley here today has put some brilliant sets up for Shauna Polley, and Shauna just kills them.
Well, there you have it. What a performance from New Zealand's premier side. The crowd have had a wonderful time. As for Julia Tilley and Shauna Polley, they win for the third time this season at the Mountain. This time, it's the big one. It's the Tour Finals, and they are our gold medalists. Emily, very quickly, sum up the performance from Polley and Tilley.
I think, like I said before, they just definitely never took the pedal off. They were in it the whole game. You could tell that they really wanted that, and they've done it. Awesome game by both teams. I think Vanuatu put up an awesome fight and have some brilliant skills up their sleeves, but New Zealand overall was just a strong team, solid effort, and they got the result that they wanted in the end.
Well, that's perfect for New Zealand. They take the game 21-18, 21-18, comfortable in the end. We're going to have a couple of quick adverts, and I'm going to go and find out how they're feeling after winning the Tour Finals here in Mount Wanganui.
Building a new home, you want to feel you're being listened to and taken care of.
So we were looking at buying an existing house, and it was actually just as affordable to build a new house with GJ's.
What were the things that were important to you with the new home?
Our goal was really just to stick to a concept plan. You know, we wanted to keep the cost down. What was important was space for us and the kids. As I work from home 3 days a week, we also needed an office, and GJ's had some really awesome options.
I really wanted the low maintenance design, so I chose bricks, and GJ went above and beyond to find what I really wanted, and I love them. GJ just made it really simple for us, really straightforward.
And I totally recommend GJ to build a house. It felt very safe.
To find out how GJ can help build your new home, visit gjgardner.co.nz.
Well, there you have it. The gold medalists have been confirmed as New Zealand's premier team of Tilley and Polley. Ladies, congratulations. How does it feel?
Feels awesome to play in front of a home crowd, and such a big crowd as well. It's just a great feeling. Yeah, won't forget it for a long time.
Well, you said that was the complete performance. Like, you made digs, you sided out well. I can't remember a time where you really felt too stressed in there.
Yeah, it was good. We managed to recompose ourselves pretty quickly if we lost the point, and yeah, just worked together, did some of those things that we talked about, mixing up the plays. So yeah, we're happy with that performance.
That's your third win here at the Mountain this season, so it's a special place for you as home, and it's also, well, great conditions.
Yeah, for sure. I've been driving over from Hamilton most weeks, so it's nice to see our hard work pay off and all that petrol money well spent.
Always does pay off, right? Eventually.
Exactly.
And more preparation for the Continental Cup. Can you tell the viewers about what's coming up next week, and what a great performance that is to take in some confidence maybe to what's an Olympic qualifying campaign for you guys?
Yeah, so next week we play the Continental Cup, so our zone, and we've got Vanuatu in there, and we worked with the other New Zealand team, and we play each country, and then the winner of that gets to go to the final stage to fight it out for a spot for Tokyo 2020.
Well, there you have it, ladies. Congratulations. And if anyone is around this area, please come down over the next week. The girls are going to need your support in their pursuit of an Olympic dream. But congratulations, the Tour final winners, the gold medalists, New Zealand. Well, there you have. The ladies' finals are over, but the men's finals are coming our way in 10 minutes or 20 minutes or so. So please stay with us. But from myself, Louis Lett, and the rest of the team, it's been a great ladies' final. Let's hope the men's match up to the expectation. We're coming back very, very soon. But from us for now, it's goodbye.